Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy Tactics, The War of the Lions. In our last episode, the young cadets Ramza and Delita were thrust into battle for the first time, confronting the fleeing brigands of the Corpse Brigade. Well, they were victorious, and now they're heading on their way back to the castle Eagrose. Before they do that, however, let's take a look at an option here on the main menu known as the Chronicle. As you may remember from the beginning of the game, this entire game is being narrated to us by a historian named Argath, who is telling us about the events of the Lion War and the controversy that surrounds the truth of it. One of the options here is events. We can select that and view prior cutscenes. For example, just before our last battle, we had a cutscene where Ramza and Delita were in the Academy meeting hall and were given instructions to go defeat the Corpse Brigade. I could review that scene if I want to. I'm not going to do that right now, but it also gives us a nice description of it. Several other Knights Apprentice and I, all of us soon to graduate into the ranks of knighthood, were called to gather at the Academy Hall. An unsavory band of outlaws known as the Corpse Brigade continues to plunder and loot throughout Gallion, and plans are afoot for the order to rid the land of these ne'er-do-wells. We Knights Apprentice are charged with providing rear guard support. And that'll, all the cutscenes that we run into throughout the game will appear here if we ever want to go back and look at them. Even better, there's an option here called Personae. That gives us our Dramatis Personae, the cast of characters of the game. If we select that, it'll list all of the important people. We can click on each name and get a little bit of information about their personality and what's happened to them, their history. But more importantly, this information updates as the game goes on. If I revisit the screen throughout the game, the information I'm given changes as major events happen. Let's quickly go through and review this. Let's click on Ramza, our main character. Ramza Beowulf, age 16, a knight apprentice at the Royal Military Academy at Garaland. House Beowulf has long been a respected military family, and for generations has produced commanders of the Order of the Northern Sky. Born to a different mother than his two elder brothers, Ramza, the great house's youngest son, harbors feelings of inferiority to his true-born siblings. That's a little interesting bit of insight into our main character there. Delita, the hero of the Lion War, as we have been told. Also age 16, Delita Hyrule is Ramza's childhood friend and knight apprentice of the Royal Military Academy at Garaland. Born to a farming family in the domain of the House Beowulf, Delita and his sister were taken in by the late Lord Barboneth after losing both parents to the Black Death. Despite his low birth, he was allowed into the academy at Lord Barboneth's request. Oh, okay, so his parents were killed, or died rather. He was taken in by Ramza's father and was granted a seat at the military academy, even though he's lowborn. Interesting. Who is Lord Zalbag? Zalbag Beowulf, age 28, is Lord Commander of the Order of the Northern Sky and holder of the title Knight Devout. Zalbag is the second eldest of the Beowulf brothers. His countless victories in the 50 Years' War led the late King Dinamda IV to declare, "The savior of Ivalice is in Gallion, and his name is Beowulf." Zalbag is also a devout member of the Church of Glabados. Okay, so that must be one of Ramza's elder brothers that they talked about just before. How about Lord Daisedarg? Daisedarg Beowulf, age 37, is the eldest Beowulf brother, and the military tactician in the service of Duke Larg, the liege lord of Gallion. In accordance with the wishes of his late father, Lord Barboneth, Daisedarg ceded the position of commander of the Order of the Northern Sky to his brother Zalbag. Instead, he became a strategist for Duke Larg, a friend of Daisedarg's childhood. Daisedarg is Duke Larg's most trusted retainer. In addition to being a master tactician, it is also said that he is an expert swordsman, well-versed in the ways of magic. Okay, so the oldest Beowulf brother relinquished command of the Order of the Northern Sky to his younger brother, and instead has become the closest, most trusted advisor of the Duke of this region of Gallion, Duke Larg. Well, let's learn about Duke Larg. Bestrald Larg, age 37, is the liege lord of Gallion and the true-born brother to Queen Luveria, the wife of King Ondoria III. House Larg is a branch of the Adkasha royal family and can trace its roots to King Dinamda II, the monarch responsible for the 50 Years' War. Duke Larg served as a general in that conflict, and today possesses command authority over the Order of the Northern Sky. So Larg is sort of the guy in charge of this part of the country, and he commands the Order of the Northern Sky, in which the Beowulfs, that we know well of, Ramza is one of the Beowulfs, are a huge part. They're a major component of the Order of the Northern Sky. They serve under Larg. Okay, fair enough. What about Duke Goltana? We heard that name mentioned at the beginning. The people who attacked the chapel and tried to kidnap the princess in that first scene, in the future that is not part of this flashback, were wearing the colors of Duke Goltana, if you may remember. Druxmal Goltana, age 56, is the ruler of Zeltenia. Duke Goltana, like Duke Larg, is descended from the line of King Dinabda II, the monarch responsible for the 50 Years' War. His standard is the Black Lion, one head of the royal family's twin-headed lion crest. There's that lion thing that we keep hearing about, the Lion War. The lion seems to be a recurring motif in this game. I'm sure we'll hear more about that later. He served as a general in the 50 Years' War and now controls the Order of the Southern Sky, one of the great knightly orders of Ivalice. Interesting. Okay, what about Prince Orinus? We heard a little about him in a tavern earlier. Orinus Adkasha, age 1, the third son born to King Andori III and Queen Luveria. As their first two children died shortly after birth, Prince Orinus is heir to the throne of Ivalice. Oh, okay. Few among the citizenry retain faith in their current king, who rarely participates in matters of government, citing ill health. Most realize that the regent who governs in his place has the true power. Ah, okay, well that seems ripe for a power struggle. Let's learn about the queen. Queen Luveria Adkasha, age 27, is the wife of King Andori III of Ivalice and a true-born sister of Duke Larg. Luveria became queen at 20 years of age and gave birth to 3 sons. Her first 2 children died shortly after birth, leaving the infant Prince Orinus as the only heir to the throne. The king's ill health has left him distant from affairs of government, making the queen the de facto ruler of Ivalice. Oh. Well, let's learn about that king. Ondoria Adkasha III, age 35, is the 18th monarch in the Adkasha line. Ondoria III was crowned king after Dinabda IV's death from illness in the final days of the 50 Years' War. In stark contrast to his predecessor, who had led his own troops into battle, Ondoria III has been sickly all his life. In fact, many historians point to Ondoria III's poor leadership as one of the main factors in Ivalice's defeat. What about this Marquis Elmdor? We heard that name briefly mentioned in that prior cutscene at the Royal Academy. Messam Elmdor, age 35, is the liege lord of Limbury. Marquis Elmdor battled fearlessly against the Ordalian army when it invaded Ivalice in the latter days of the 50 Years' War. Hailed by his friends as the Silver Prince for his bright metallic armor and long silver hair, he was feared by his foes as the Silver Demon. He is a devout member of the Church of Glabados and an ordained inquisitor. That's the second time we've heard reference to the Church of Glabados. I'm sure that's going to be something important later. What about Tietra Hyrule? Age 15, she's Delita's younger sister. Both are the children of a simple farmer who lived and worked on land owned by House Beowulf. Lord Barbaneth Beowulf assumed custody of both Tietra and Delita soon after their parents were taken by the Black Death. Tietra secretly worries about her brother, who has been sent to the academy. She's a dear friend of Alma Beowulf. Well, we haven't learned about Alma yet. I'm assuming Alma is a sister of Ramza. Lord Barbaneth, let's learn about him. The former Lord Commander of the Order of the Northern Sky, Lord Barbaneth was hailed as a knight gallant, the highest rank in all of knighthood. His countless victories helped to compensate for Ivalice's inferior numbers in the 50 Years' War. Fear of this lord convinced Ordalia to agree to an equal peace, although Ivalice had in fact lost. He died of malady at the war's end. So that's Ramza's father, and his prowess on the battlefield is what led to a peace treaty being a nominal equal peace as opposed to a loss for Ivalice, even though Ivalice did technically lose. And what about Arslan Durai, the historian who's been telling us all of these stories and inviting us on this search for truth? Arislam Durai, age 53, is a modern-day scholar of medieval Ivalician history. Arislam is also well known as an archaeologist and theologian, and many recall the controversy sparked by his interpretation of the Durai Papers. He has penned such classic works as The Enigmatic War of the Lions, The True Saint Ajora, and the Durai Papers, 400 Years of Truth. Well, seeing as how he's the kind of historian who likes revisiting well-held historical beliefs, things that are held as true, I could see why he'd be controversial. That's generally what happens to historians who question the conventional wisdom of what historians believe. All right, let's go ahead and get out of here. I will offer my humble assistance whenever it is needed on your quest to discover the truth. Okay, so let's go ahead. We already did everything. We went through our party roster last time, leveled our characters up, so let's just continue. Let's move on to our next location. We're heading for Eagrose Castle. We're going to be stopping at the Mandalia Plain first. Let's head there right now. Barbeneth Beowulf, a great hero in his own right, who had attained the distinguished title of Knight Gallant, approaches the hour of his death. The Beowulf mounts in the waning days of the 50 Years' War. So, even though we're in the middle of a flashback telling of Delita and Ramza's early career, this is an additional flashback taking us back even a little further to the time when Lord Balbeneth died. So, what news of the war? So here's Zalbag, one of Ramza's older brothers, the one who's the military commander. The Order has struck a great blow. Limbury is ours once more. We were able to recall our forces in Zeltania anon. We will be able to recall our forces in Zeltania anon. All goes as planned, Lord Father. Be not troubled. And here's Daisadarg, who's that close advisor to the Duke. The envoy dispatched to Advocate Lenario has returned. He's agreed to your proposal, Lord Father. Good. Very good. Then the war will die with me. Father. Oh, there's Alma that we heard it referred to earlier. There now, Alma. Do you want my last memory to be of your tears? Where is that Ramza? He should be here at your side. Daisadarg, Zalbag, you are dear to me, but Ramza is no less so. Though he be not the issue of the womb that bore you, my sons, still my blood courses his veins. Watch after him. Lord Father! You forget yourself, Ramza. You have come. Good. Let me look once more on your face. Lord Father, how long has it been? You've grown into a fine young man. I would hear of your studies. You've been at the academy since spring, is it? Hear me, Ramza. For generations, we Beowulfs have stood foremost of those who serve the crown. Ours is the soul of the knight. Become a knight worthy of your name. Tolerate no injustice. Stray not from the true path. You will know the path you must walk. A Beowulf can walk no other. I will not fail you, Father. Your friend, Delita. He is a good boy. He is low-born, but he can serve you well. I've made arrangements for him to enter the academy. You should have seen the look on the headmaster's face. In the years ahead, you will need someone whom you can trust. You could do far worse than Delita. As you say, Father. Take care of your sister. And show these brothers of yours what it is to be a knight. So Lord Balbineth Beowulf passed away. Well, that gives us a little bit more insight into Ramza's backstory, but our destination awaits. Let's continue on our way. And we're thrust right into another battle. Let's go ahead and select our squad. Let's just grab some of our squires to act as combat, and we have one more position remaining, so let's grab a chemist to heal if need be. I just want to verify that he has items. I want to see if it allows me to view his, yeah. I don't know if he has potion. I believe he does. Alright, so let's go ahead and start our battle. I wonder what we could be facing here on the Mandalia plain. Here on the plain, it looks like a bunch of highwaymen. They have someone at their mercy. Looks like this one's still alive. What do we do with him? What do you think we do with him? Right then. Your luck's run out, knave, if ever you had any. Blast! One of the Order's patrols! And we arrive. The Corpse Brigade, and they have a hostage in their midst. So here we have an option. If you remember in our last battle, the objective was to defeat all enemies. Well, we can choose two different options. If we say our first duty is to defeat their brigade, that will be our objective again. Or we can say we must rescue their captive, in which case our objective will be to save the person that they have over there at their mercy, or rather their lack of mercy. If that happens, well, we have to keep him alive. If he's wounded, if he's knocked out, not even killed, if he's just knocked out, we won't even have a chance to try to revive him. Our battle will end immediately and we lose the game. So, even though it seems a bit heartless, it's to our advantage to select our first duty is to defeat the brigade. Because then our objective is easy, and doesn't matter what happens to that guy. Our first duty is to defeat the brigade. The enemy stands before us. Attack! The leader doesn't like that. You'd stand by and watch as they kill an innocent? I hadn't planned on giving him the chance. Had you? I would save him myself if it came to that. So as you can see, Delita has a very strong sense of justice. Objective, defeat all enemies. Commence! Alright, so Delita's going to go first, and he's going to go ahead and use his stone ability, it looks like. Yep, he's going to attack that enemy and knock him back. Do 10 points of damage. So the person that was in trouble, his name is Argath. Reinforcements, and none too soon. He's going to go ahead and attack some of his the people who were hurting him. Oh, and he gained a job level, and he critically hurt that guy. That's nice. But he's going to get hit in return by one of the brigands. He's going to head off and get out of the way. And this is why it's dangerous to select trying to save him. He's already been hit twice. And we can't control him and move him safely out of the way, so there's no guarantee that he's going to move to safety on the next turn. But for right now, it looks like he's still safe, so it's our turn. So, if you remember last time, we purchased a new skill called Tailwind. Let's go ahead and use that. I want to show you what that does. It boosts an ally's speed. But it doesn't have to be an ally. We can use it on ourselves. We're going to increase our speed, but more importantly, see, we're too far away to get close and do anything to any of those enemies. But we can get 12 job points just for doing that. Because we're using a Squire ability, we gain Squire job points. So for basically not doing anything but increasing our own speed, we've gained experience and job points. And if we continue to, the more times we use Tailwind throughout this battle, our position on the order is going to continue to move up and up, and we're going to get, our speed just continues to increase. For now, let's just wait. Tailwind is an incredibly useful ability later in the game. All right, for now, let's go ahead and move. Let's exit out here. I want to change the angle of the board here so we can just see a little bit better. Okay. Let's move our squire up a bit. About equal with Delita here. Enemy's a little too far away to do anything, so we're just going to wait. We'll go ahead and move one of our other squires up just as far. And again, we'll wait. And then we'll move our chemist up just behind him. We don't want to move too far out and expose ourselves, or our guys can get surrounded and very quickly taken down. We'll use Tailwind again, increase our speed again. Give us those. So having Tailwind means that Ramza, even as he's moving closer to the enemy, he just gained a level. Because, for example, I can't move close enough to attack any enemies with anything other than stone. But while I move up, that gives me something that I can do every turn, so I can always be sure that I'm getting those job points, getting those experience points, and continuing to level Ramza up. And you can very quickly make Ramza incredibly overpowered by doing that every turn. Okay, well, it looks like Argath was never in any trouble. We would have been just fine selecting that first option. To try that option to save him. He actually finished off one of the enemies on his own. But now they're ganging up on Delita, so we're going to try to move in and help him. Okay. I can move this guy around behind him to get a better chance to hit. And we'll do 12 damage. Not a whole lot, but certainly better than nothing. I can move my other squire into his side here. And hit him for another 15. Gained a level for that. And I'm going to go ahead and move my chemist. I'm going to actually use a potion. Just checking the stats of my guys. I'm not worried about Argath or Delita's health because, you know, they don't die permanently. And I'll heal my friend who was hurt, who was hit. Okay, so it's Ramza's turn. Let's go ahead and just seeing where everybody is. I can attack him, but it'll be from the front. There's less chance of hitting. Or I can finish this enemy off from the back. So let's go ahead and get him. Argath's feeling a little confident, so he's going to just come in. Looks like we're making pretty short work of these brigands here. But they're going after my chemist. Chemists are weaker than squires, so we don't want to let that happen. So I'm going to go ahead and move. Instead of attacking the guys around me, I'm going to move in here and defend my squire. Defend my chemist. Alright, I can move in behind this guy here. You always want to attack from the sides or the back because the difference, as you notice, whenever I go to attack, it gives me the percent chance of hitting. And from the back and the sides, it's often 100%. From the front, it's, you know, there's always a chance that you'll miss. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and use a potion to give myself some more job points and to heal the damage I just took for this chemist. And then we'll go ahead and move up onto this rock here. Now I'm not going to waste time waiting for these bodies to decompose like I could. here. We're just going to go ahead and... Okay, now this Panther's using Venom Fang. Luckily, he missed. If that attack hit, it would have a chance to poison that character, which means that he would start taking, damage over time. That Panther's a big threat, so I'm going to move Ramza in to hit him, to give him a hit here. Argath's going to continue moving around, and he's going to attack that squire, that brigand, and finish him off. Alright, there's very few enemies left here. In fact, the Panther's the only enemy remaining, it looks like. Let's see if there's anything I can do. Maybe I can throw a stone at the Panther. What you want to try to do is have every character do something every turn. Even if they can't attack an enemy, it does help to have something that they can do, because you have to do options to get those job points. So even though it only did 8 damage, I got 12 job points. That's a little bit more towards buying the next skill. This character can go ahead and just attack and then move off. Now notice next underneath the Panther there, there's that shows that he has a reaction ability, counter. There's a chance that I will take damage in counter after I attack him. And there's only a 77% chance of hitting because I'm attacking from the front. I missed, and he counterattacked and did 8 damage to me. Okay, so let's move off to make room for other people to come in here. The chemist is not going to do anything right now, except I'll move him in here. We'll go ahead and use a potion, because even though it costs us money to use up potions to buy more, again, it's more job points, so... Let's see, Argath's the worst off. We'll go ahead and heal Argath. And he gained a job level! I'll just go ahead and use Tailwind again. And just wait there. Ah, and he finished off the Panther for us. Are you harmed? I'll be fine. It is for the Marquis's safety, I fear. The Marquis Elmdor de Limberry was here? The very same. And to whom do I owe my gratitude? We are a knight's apprentice from the Academy of Garaland. We may be able to help you, but first I would hear more. Okay, so that the Marquis Elmdor that we learned about in the Chronicle looks like he was here and is in trouble. The battle is won. Bonus coins, 700 gil. And we got some potions, so that was great. Even though we used some potions, we got some back. That's fantastic. My name is Argath, a knight in His Excellency the Marquis Elmdor de Limberry's household. A knight, you say? Well, truth be told, I am a knight apprentice, as are you, if I'm not far mistaken. A fellow knight in training, then. I am Ramza Beowulf, and this is Delita Hyral, my trusted friend. Beowulf? You're not of the Beowulfs of the Order of the Northern Sky, are you? What fantastic luck! A blessing in the midst of disaster! What? The Order can help me rescue the Marquis. It must! The Marquis is held captive? They took him hostage, yes, but he still lives. We must act quickly if he is to remain so. Should he be killed, I will lose everything. You simply must help me. Please, I beg you. Calm yourself. Who's to say your Marquis is to be killed anyway? The Corpse Brigade would not take a man alive, save there were value in keeping him so. Of that you can be sure. There's little the three of us can do to help in any case. If the Marquis was taken hostage, Eagrose will be in an uproar. You can be sure of that too. Then before all else, we'll report in to Eagrose. Are we agreed? Agreed. We'll start there. Okay, well, let's head over to Eagrose then. There's Diced Argath, and we're all at the table. I hear you were decorated for your first victory, Ramza. They sing your praise from on high. You do honor to our name, my brother, and to me. I am glad. Oh, you would not seem it. I am. Forgive me. Your words do me far more honor than I have done you. No doubt word has already reached you, but the Marquis de Limbury's carriage was waylaid, and the Marquis taken. What have you in mind to do? I've already asked Zalbag to dispatch a squad in pursuit. These brigands must eventually come forth to demand ransom. That is, assuming the Marquis yet lives. I beg of you, Lord Beowulf, lend me 100 men that I might hunt the Whoresons down. Please, my lord, grant me means to avenge my fallen friends. Mayhap your ears fail you. I said that a squad is to be dispatched. You are not a man of Gallio. Leave her affairs to those of us who are. But my lord... Do not assume to beg favors of me. Let me remind you, Argath, lest you forget your place. You are but another sword, not yet even knighted. The two of you will remain here in Eagrose, and serve among the castle guard. You needn't worry. Danger's not like to visit these walls. Put on guard duty. Well... My own house was once respected as highly as House Beowulf, you know. At least, until my grandfather was captured during the war. He turned traitor, thinking to buy his freedom with the lives of his friends, but his freedom scarce outlived his honor. He was not a dozen paces out the gate when the dagger found his back. Killed by some common squire, no more a knight than I. One of the many betrayed later escaped and spread word of his misdeeds. My lord father would have none of it, of course, but he was the only one. Our bannermen deserted us, our reputation ruined. I suppose I'd best remember my place. Your lord brother has no reason to lend ear to the pleas of the likes of me. Delita! Titra! Alma! Zalbag! Ramza, you've come home. It's been some time, hasn't it, Zalbag? I heard about Garaland. They say you made short work of those brigands. Now you've truly the right to call yourself a Beowulf. Father would be proud. Thank you, Lord Brother. Ha! You certainly haven't changed. God forbid you show a bit of cheer on being praised. And you, Delita, do not think the word of your deeds escapes our ears. Your sister's been so full of pride I quite feared she might burst. Worry not. My seams have held. I'm glad to see you looking so well, Delita. And you? Have you settled in at school? Yes, the others have all been quite kind to me. Would that we could speak at greater leisure, but there are duties that require my attendance. Rogues do not catch themselves. I understand. Good luck. We received a note of ransom from the Corpse Brigade. What? Something about it sits unwell with me. They're anarchists, to be sure, bent on bringing down the aristocracy, but they fancy themselves righteous and prey only on the nobility and those in our employ. Would such as they truly kidnap the Marquis for want of coin? Why wouldn't they? They're not but common footpads. One of the men I planted among them has not returned. I worry he may be caught up in something serious, but there are those who do not think some mere spy worth a search party's efforts. Where was he last known to be? A merchant city named Dorter in eastern Gallion. Guarding a castle grows dreadfully dull. Wouldn't you agree? So he's dropped a little hint of where we might find more information. Forgive us, Tietra. It seems we must be leaving sooner than we planned. Don't worry about me. Just take care of yourself. Oh, I will. Mind your studies. I'll be back before you even noticed I'm gone. Let's be on our way. Tietra puts on a brave face, but the truth is not as honeyed as her words. What do you mean? She has a hard time of it at school. The others tease her for being low-born. Forgive me, I shouldn't have said anything. I'm sure you have worries enough of your own. Tietra will be all right. I'm here to look after her. Then there's naught to worry about. But mind your own limits. You can't be responsible for everything. Says the brother who never fails to do any and all that's expected of him. Don't lose sight of yourself, Ramza. You needn't let your life be ruled by the fact that you were born a Beowulf. Now you're starting to sound like Mother. Ramza. Well, I think we've learned a little bit about the dynamics of power and politics in the Beowulf family and at Castle Eagrose. But we've also been given a way forward. The spy that Zalbag planted among the Corpse Brigade has not reported back and was last known to be in a city to the east known as Dorter. So that's where we're going to have to head next. To get there, we're going to have to head through the Siege Weald. And that's where we're going to be heading, I believe, the next time we play. In our next episode, we're heading east to the merchant city of Dorter. I'll see you then.